When did I first meet Billy? Well, my first time of meeting him was when he was working for an advertising agency, and I think he had just come back from New York or wherever he'd come from, and he got onto me somehow, I don't know where from, to do a prototype of a new logo that he had designed, or somebody in the agency had designed. It was actually for New Zealand Couriers. So I did those two things for him, just normal sign writing, and it was a few years later, a couple of years later, or it might have been many years later, he got back to me and asked me if I was interested in doing a painting for him onto canvas, and so I did. And so that was the first time, that's how I first met him, and it just developed from there. That was in 1981. It was the very first time I'd ever done work for an artist, so I treated it originally just as really doing just one of my signs, and but I soon found out that it needed to be a little bit more exact than that. So the whole thing about Billy and his work is everything has to be pinpoint, and everything's got to be real sharp. The first one that I did, I had to go back to it about 3 times and tidy up little bits and pieces which he wanted me to fix up, so I realised then that it was a bit more than ordinary sign writing. When I did the very first work for him, I just did it as a sign basically, and I got paid for it, and then a few months later somebody said to me, "Oh, I saw a picture of yours that you did in a magazine." I said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, there's a picture of an artwork and it's got your name on it." So I went and got the magazine, and it had all the information there, and it said sign writing by Terry Maitland, and I realised that, there's artists do get other people to do their work, and it's obviously feasible, and so it has been a good relationship with a lot of artists because of it. I got ridiculed a few times by other sign writing mates after they'd seen things that Billy had said about me and that, but it's been great, really enjoyed it. I've worked with quite a few artists, really, but the ones that you would know of, or people would know of, would be Julian Dashper, Mary Louise Brown. There was another one there too. John Reynolds. I did 1 or 2 just for him at one stage. But I've done a lot of works for up-and-coming type artists, like students and things at Elam, that they want a work done, so then they've seen stuff that I've done from somewhere else. So I've done a few works for those sort of people. But talking of Julian Dashper, I actually did over 400 works for him in the time that I started doing works, because he would get more than just one done at a time, As far as my name being on any of Billy's works, well, it never was. But he never made a secret of the fact that I did the works for him, and so my name never was on anyone, apart from when he did his Billy logo, and originally it just had an R registration mark on it. Then he finally got the trademark certified and so forth, and so then TM is my initials, so I finally got my name on his works, which he was the first one to point out actually. So when I first started doing work for him, and he would tell me what to do, where I wanted fixed up and everything, and I was learning because of it, what he wanted, and so I was trying to adapt new ways of doing this stuff so I could get it exact for him. And I remember him saying one time in some sort of interview that that Terry Maitland was his sign writer, and he had honed me. He had honed me over the time, and it's probably right as far as he honed me into doing the works for him in the way that he wanted them. So yeah, that's what he was like. It was only about 2 years ago, I guess, when I'd done heaps and heaps of works for him, and I was sort of having a bit of trouble with my eyes as far as as you get older, you have to wear glasses and everything. And I said to him one time, my eyes are getting a bit, I have a bit of trouble seeing properly. And he said to me, once your eyes get too bad, that'll be it. I won't be getting any more done. And I sort of thought, I have, all these years I've been doing stuff for him and I haven't got one, so I thought I'd better, told him that, you know, I wanted a Billy Apple. So we came to a little bit of arrangement, and he wanted to do from the Terry Maitland collection, but I didn't really want that. I thought I sort of regard them as kind of self-portraits, you know, in a way, and I didn't really want a self-portrait of myself, but I thought that from the signwriters collection just sounded a little bit different and might have a little bit of an edge to it, so that's why we did that. And yeah, we came to an arrangement. I also got one of the Billy Apple logos which goes beside it, so I've got a nice red one, square, and then the from the collection one beside it, so they go together quite well in the lounge.